The hospital room was quiet, but everyone seemed to be making decisions about my life. I could hear my name being used gently, carefully, just never spoken to me. The hospital room was quiet, but everyone seemed to be making decisions about my life. The ceiling above me was white in that particular way hospitals choose: clean, empty, impossible to focus on for long. I remember waking up slowly, not startled, just drifting back into myself. My body felt tired, but not broken. I wasn't afraid. That came later. At first, I thought I was alone. Machines hummed softly, like they were whispering to each other. Somewhere down the hall, a cart rolled by. Ordinary sounds. Reassuring, even. Then I heard voices. They weren't loud. No one was arguing. That's what unsettled me. They spoke calmly, professionally, with the kind of certainty people use when they believe they're being kind. "He's stable," someone said. "She'll need rest," another voice replied. "We should tell the family." Family. That word landed before anything else did. I waited for someone to turn toward me. To say my name in a way that invited a response. To ask if I was awake. Or how I felt. Or what I wanted. No one did. They stood just outside my field of vision, discussing me the way you discuss weather coming in from another city. Relevant. Important. But distant. I tried to shift in the bed, just enough to announce myself without making a fuss. The sheets made a sound, but it didn't interrupt them. They continued, voices overlapping gently, decisions stacking neatly on top of one another. It was a minor health scare. That's what they would call it later. Minor. Temporary. Nothing dramatic. I knew that even then, in the fog of waking. My body wasn't failing me. Not yet. But something else was changing. I could feel it, even if I didn't have words for it yet. Someone finally noticed my eyes were open. There was a smile. A warm one. Reassuring. "You're awake," they said, as if this were a pleasant surprise. As if I hadn't been here the whole time. They asked me how I felt. I told them the truth. "Tired," I said. It seemed like the safest answer. They nodded, satisfied, and turned back to the others. That was the moment I realized the question hadn't really been for me. Later, my children came. Their faces carried that careful concern I recognize now. The kind that tries not to scare you while quietly assuming you might scare them. They spoke softly, even joked a little. Asked if I was comfortable. If I needed anything. They did not ask what I thought should happen next. I listened as plans formed around my bed. Who would stay the night? What I should do when I went home. What I should stop doing. What I should no longer handle on my own. Every sentence began with love. That made it harder. I wanted to interrupt. To say that I was still myself. That one bad morning didn't erase decades of knowing my own body, my own limits, my own life. But the words felt heavy. Out of place. Like they would complicate something that everyone else seemed eager to simplify. So I stayed quiet. A doctor came in later. Kind eyes. Calm voice. He explained things slowly, as if time itself might confuse me now. He looked at my chart more than he looked at me. When he spoke, it was mostly to my daughter. "She understands," my daughter said, nodding. I wondered when that had been decided. When the room emptied again, the quiet returned, but it felt different now. Heavier. Less peaceful. I stared at the window, at a slice of sky that didn't care where I was or who was speaking for me. I thought about how many times I had stood in rooms making decisions for others. For my children when they were small. For my parents when they grew tired. I had believed, then, that I was being responsible. Protective. I don't remember asking them how it felt. The days passed slowly. Not painfully, just slowly, like time had decided to sit beside me instead of moving forward. Nurses came and went. Each one pleasant. Each one efficient. They asked questions with answers they already expected. Sometimes I answered differently, just to see if it mattered. It rarely did. My family visited every day. They brought reassurance in the form of updates. "The doctor thinks, we've decided, it's probably best if." I nodded. I smiled. I thanked them. Inside, I waited. Not for bad news. Not for recovery. But for someone to pause and ask me something real. Something open-ended. Something that didn't have a plan attached to it. No one ever did. One afternoon, I overheard a conversation in the hallway. They thought I was asleep. I often was, but not then. "She's getting older," someone said gently. "We just want what's best," another replied. Best is a dangerous word. It sounds final. Undebatable. I closed my eyes, not because I was tired, but because being unseen felt easier than correcting them. When I was discharged, everything was already arranged. Rides, schedules, instructions. My life, condensed into manageable pieces for others to hold. As I was wheeled toward the exit, I caught my reflection in a glass door. I looked the same. A little paler, maybe. A little quieter. But still me. Yet the way people moved around me suggested something else entirely. That I had crossed an invisible line while I wasn't paying attention. At home, the silence followed me. Not the comforting kind. The kind that waits for instructions. I realized then that the hospital hadn't taken anything from me. It had simply revealed what had already begun. Control doesn't disappear all at once. It's handed over slowly, politely, in moments disguised as care. And maybe one day I'll welcome that fully. Maybe I'll be grateful not to decide anymore. But not yet. For now, I sit with the discomfort of knowing that people can love you deeply and still stop hearing you. That they can mean well and still speak past you. That aging isn't just something that happens to your body, it happens to your voice. The hospital room was quiet when I woke up. But the loudest thing I learned there was how easy it is to be talked about. And how rare it is to be truly talked to. I'm still thinking about that. I suspect I will be for a long time.